Judge.
Afternoon, Mr. Stewart. Looks like we're ready to go.
Okay.
A little bit of change in order, but my understanding is we have Michael Adcock first. All right, that's a good start. Mr. Adcock, you're here on a charge of pointing a laser light at a vehicle or vessel or aircraft. There is probable cause. Your bond will be set at $5,000.
I'm the primary caretaker, and I'm wondering if I can get an R1.
With your criminal history, all right, well, like I said, due to your criminal history, I'm not going to ROR you. Best thing I can tell you to do is you might want to call Department of Children and Families, see if they can, or some other friends, or could keep an eye on her while until you post bond, where they can come up with some money. No, sir. January 25th will be your next court appearance. Yes, sir. Rico Ducatel.
Hey, good afternoon, Your Honor. Adam Carney on behalf of Rico Ducatel, and I do have probable cause.
Go ahead.
Judge, there were two parties in the car. There were multiple areas where the alleged marijuana is been found on the floorboard or front driver's seat and the front passenger seat's purse. The officer, states that he field tested the suspected marijuana and that it tested positive for marijuana. As the court is aware, I'm not aware of a test that, a test for marijuana. Rather, it's a test for THC, which, based on the plain reading of the booking sheet, we can only assume is what the officer tested for. Additionally, the officer found marijuana in two different locations, and there's only one test for the suspected marijuana, and that's based on the four corners of the booking sheet. We were unable to determine which marijuana was actually tested. Finally, the field testing is unable to differentiate between that hemp and marijuana, and as the court is aware, both hemp and marijuana contain THC, and as this was a very small shake, size of a flake, we just don't know. Finally, the booking sheet says that he's being charged with possession of 120 grams. We don't know if that is the marijuana that was pulled out of the purse or found on the driver's side seat. So for those reasons, Judge, we'd ask that the court find no probable cause.
Mr. Stewart.
Well, Judge, I think maybe awkwardly written to say tested positive for marijuana, but I don't think that's an issue for probable cause purposes. The officer did ask both Mr. Ducatel and the other occupant in the vehicle if there was any hemp inside the vehicle, and they both answered no. So, again, for probable cause purposes, I don't think it's an issue.
Hang on a second, your counsel's speaking.
Yeah, in brief rebuttal to Mr. Stewart's just a mere admission or speech of the defendant, can't convict him or find probable cause based on that.
All right, well, I'm going to find that there is probable cause. I think whether you said marijuana or THC, I guess technically it's cannabis. I don't know if your counsel, you can talk, but we're being recorded, so.
Mr. Ducatel, we can set up a teleconference, but I'm instructing you not to speak right now as your attorney.
Okay, did you reach out to your employees at your office
I did. I did. For the purposes of today, it's got nothing to do with that. We're looking at the four corners of the booking sheet and that's it. So, just hold tight, okay?
All right,
Your Honor,
ma'am.
he's on probation,
I-
and we're also asking for a witness.
Yeah, I understand that. I have that here. We are going to get to that aspect of it in a second. All right, so, Mr. Ducatel, there is probable cause on the possession of marijuana, or cannabis, I guess. Bond we set at $2,000, and I am going
Okay,
to,
Your Honor. In the police report, it says that on the driver's side.
Mr. Ducatel, please don't talk about the facts of your case. It's not gonna help you, I promise.
all right, and I am doing the Widman Act warrant in 20 CF 532. I understand it's a misdemeanor, but we'll see what happens or whoever handles it tomorrow. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Jaquan Dunham. Mr. Dunham, you're here on a charge of driving with a suspended driver's license. There is probable cause. Your bond will be set at $1,000. January 21st will be your next court appearance, sir. LeVar Maycock Beckles.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Ms. Mead.
Your Honor, I'm just here not for any probable cause issue, but I just wanted to clarify, this was an arrest warrant. He was served in Broward County and transported here. For some reason, there were two case numbers created,
Yes,
and they are all the same case. It's my understanding from speaking with the case, that, or with the state, that the proper case number is 2020 CF 1218.
that's what I was told.
Okay.
That's what's on here, and I got a message from one of the clerks who indicated that they had, I think, filed an amended information, third amended information, 20 CF 1218.
That's correct.
Okay.
And while we're not necessarily in agreement with the amount of bond that was set by the original judge, we understand that needs to be argued in front of Judge Foster.
Correct. All right, so I'm going to leave it there as originally set at on the conspiracy to traffic and the trafficking at 1 million. Just make sure I get the right number of zeros. And 50,000 on the unlawful communication. Looks like January 25th is the next court appearance.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Happy New Year.
You too. Andrew Strange. Mr. Strange, this is a warrant for grand theft. There is probable cause. Court is going to leave that warrant at the bond amount that's on the warrant at $100,000. And again, January 20th. Yes, sir.
Can I speak on that? I've been in custody in Broward County awaiting extradition for 45 plus days in jail on this warrant. It's a level 2 felony, but it's a category 6 property offense, a non-violent offense.
Yes.
Considering the minute nature of my criminal history and the fact that I have residency in the state of Florida for over 20 years and I'm presently living in a sober living facility on GPS monitoring and I have no FTAs, can I please be considered a reasonable bond amount so that I can maintain employment?
I'll let you bring that up to the judge who's going to be handling your case. You can ask for a bond reduction then. I mean, I know that you've got another, right? Don't they have a hold out of you out of West Palm Beach too?
Yeah, but it's only $100, so I'm prepared to pay that if I can get a reasonable bond.
Okay, well,
It's for the exempt.
right. All right, well, January 25th will be your next court appearance. Dennis Truly. Mr. Truly, this is a warrant, or I guess an order revoking your bond in case number 20 MM 1890. You'll be held no bond pursuant to the judge's order. And January 15th will be your next court appearance. No. No. Go back to Thomas Collins. Second, Mr. Tom Collins, charged with battery on a law enforcement officer, resisting an officer with violence, and one count of battery. There is probable cause on the battery on law enforcement officer, and the resisting bond will be set at $5,000 on each count, $2,500 on the simple battery. There will be a no contact order with Mr. Dakota Laurentry and a no trespass order at the Parrot Bar and Grill, 11000 6th Avenue South, Naples. There'll also be a firearms order that will be entered. Any firearm you may own or possess will have to be turned into the sheriff within 24 hours of release, or you'll need to provide an affidavit you do not possess or own a firearm. January 20. Go ahead.
Yes, I apologize for interrupting. Yes, sir. So I'm sorry. I have to relinquish any firearms.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then I'm sorry. How much was the bond?
It'll be $1,250 total, or $1,200, $12,500.
Okay, 1700.
No. 12,500 total.
12,000. Okay.
And January 25th will be your next court appearance.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
We're coming back to you for 2 pleas. Okay.
Now I'm gonna come back with
We're gonna come back.
it. I'm gonna get through the range.
Okay. Say it one more time. Yes, I will. All right.
Your Honor, just to be sure, you have an issue with Mr. Strange, right? Andrew Strange?
No. No. I just, it just says yes without standing warrant.
The Naples Jail, the judge is on the bench. Just to let you know, we have to go back to 31B after this for 2 pleas.
Okay.
All right, so just, Corey, we know bonded. I have Rachel Dowd.
Judge, I have a request on this one.
Okay, go ahead.
My request is, Your Honor, for a no alcohol and sober length condition of bond, given there's a prior, it looks like from 2018 in California, and this was a crash with a very high breath alcohol.
All right, Ms. Dowd, you're charged with driving under the influence as well as driving under influence with property damage. There is probable cause. Set your bond at $2,500 on each count. I will, as a condition of your bond, add that you have sober link, no alcohol provision. And I'll give you 24 hours from your release to get that installed. Well, actually, if you get out over the holiday, it might be a little tougher, but what's today? Friday. I'll just say no later. $5 p.m. on January 5th. Although that may be might not get the job done that we're looking for.
Judge, my understanding is that the bonds companies have the devices,
Oh,
and when they, and maybe pretrial can confirm this, but when they bond out, they give them the device as they're leaving the jail.
Can get it done? Okay. All right. All right, 24 hours of release then. January 28th will be your next court appearance, ma'am. Thank you. Victoria Elkins. Counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
This is the case.
Good afternoon. Yes.
Good afternoon, I'm sorry. We're asking for schedule bond. I believe it's 7-0 bond.
I don't think it had, did it have? Yeah, it had a $10,000.
Oh, it did?
I believe so.
My paperwork says no bond.
No, I would do a, it may indicate that on the, I don't have a copy of the bond.
I see the affidavit, yeah.
Yeah. All right, I'll do I'll go with 10,000. There will be a firearms order that will be entered. And I'm going to, as far as based on my review of the Google Earth, be a no trespass on Monterey Point, the street involved. It looks like, Ms. Elkins, you could get to and from your house without having to go down that street. So as a condition of your bond, you're not to travel on that roadway, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, January 25th will be your next court appearance then.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. All right, you too. Brianna Gerstein.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, J. Powell.
He's my hired judge. I know I was gonna do it first, to be honest with you.
No problem. No one's ever ready to check on that, right? All right, Ms. Gerstein, charged with burglary of a dwelling, criminal mischief, resisting an officer without violence, and giving a false name to a law enforcement officer. I don't see a burglary, so I'm going to find no probable cause in that. On the criminal mischief, bond will be set at $5,000, $2,000 on the resisting, and $2,000 on the giving a false name. There'll be a no trespass at the 305th Street South address in Naples. I'm going to revoke her bond in 19 MM 1752 and have her held no bond based on the new offense. In this case, new court appearance is scheduled for January 25th.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Judge, we'll be out to see you. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Leah Havner. And this is it Havnen?
Yeah.
Okay, Ms. Havnen charged with possession of marijuana, less than 20, as well as narcotic paraphernalia. There is probable cause on both. Bond will be set at $2,000. January 21st will be your next court appearance. Thank you. Amber Listenberger. All right, there'll be no bond on the violations of state probation. Kendra Mertel. Ms. Mertel, you're on a charge of failing to register a motor vehicle and attaching a tag not assigned. On the failure to register a motor vehicle, bond to be set at $500. I don't find probable cause on the attaching a tag. It'll be ROR'd on that count. January 28th will be your next court appearance. Haley Pazunas. Ms. Pazunas is a violation of state probation. 2 cases, 19 CF 2222 and 19 CF 2066. You'll be held no bond on each violation or each case. And January 27th will be your next court appearance. Thank you. Last I have is Julie Intente.
She has extra riding on, she's far away. Yeah, the you.
I'm sorry?
This is for you, Christopher.
Yeah, I think that's,
No, I haven't been.
oh, I got you. Okay, hold on. All right, let me just run through there then. I thought that they had last, but I thought it was just last in terms of the females. We had Michael Avakian. So probable cause 5,000, 5,000, and 2,000, and 20 MM 1395 will revoke his bond, held at no bond on a new arrest. Mitchell at Alzord, $2,000 bond.
And just for the record, he was recently found in competence to proceed in 20 MM.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not going to revoke his bond on that case. I'm not sure that I can based on that. But there will be a no trespass at 202244 44th Terrace Southwest. And I did get in touch with Judge Martin and the mental health unit. I think that's what we're hopefully trying to get something going on there. Joseph Owens. Do a $5,000 bond. No contact order with Ms. Caballo. And I am going to revoke his pretrial release. To 20 CF 1872 and 20 MM 2112. And now I have Christopher Trujillo. Mr. Trujillo, this is a charge of petty theft, third offense. There is probable cause. Your bond will be set at $5,000. There'll be a no trespass at the Walmart, 9885 Collier Boulevard. January 25th will be your next court appearance.
Step right, come on, man, right up there.
Mr. Tente, you're charged with 1 count of aggravated assault. Actually, looks like it's an aggravated battery. Your bond will be set at $10,000. Be no contact with Miss Alice Harper. January 25th will be your next court appearance. Thank you.
Going back to 31B.
Yeah, they got some pleas coming too, but we'll go there. Get them other guys done.
All right, we're gonna go back to 31B.
Okay.
Romero and Strickland.
Welcome back. We're ready.
I guess the first one I have is Cesar Romero Rojas. Mr. Brown's here.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Afternoon.
You're ready. Sir, may I address him briefly?
Sure.
Mr. Romero Rojas, this is Chris Brown, your attorney. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Now, you understand the state has made you alternative offers. One would be to modify your probation, adding terms. The other would be to revoke it in just 20 days straight with credit for 10. My understanding is you want to take the second option. Revoke the probation 20 days straight. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'd spoken with his wife.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Romero. Yeah, so Your Honor, as the court just heard the preview and the offer from the state attorney's office on this case, which he'd like to accept, is to admit the violation for a positive drug test, which he signed an admission and use of marijuana. And at this time, have the court adjudicate him guilty, revoke his probation. All outstanding conditions would go to a judgment against him, and he would be sentenced to 20 days in the county jail. He would have credit for 10 days. This was originally noticed to appear, so all the credit comes from this arrest on the day of the jail on December 22nd.
What's the case number on this?
This is 20MM304.
Okay, Judge, and he would also have to have a 6-month revocation of his license.
I was going to get to that, and I was going to ask if the state doesn't object. The court is, of course, required to do that. If the state doesn't object, I would ask that the court indicate that the court would allow for a hardship if he qualifies. My understanding from DMV is if the minutes reflect that, there's a process he has to go through to qualify with them, but they need the minutes to reflect that in order for him to even apply.
Okay. All right, Mr. Romero, if you'll raise your right hand, sir, be sworn. Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? All right. Will you state your name, please? You can put your hand down. And Mr. Romero Rojas, your counsel's indicated that you wish to admit that you violated your probation. Case number 20MM304. Looks like, well, I guess the main condition is condition 5, and there was a positive test. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
You understand that by giving up this, or by entering your plea, you're giving up your right to have a hearing, and that all that will be left is for me to sentence you according to the agreement we've discussed. Do you understand that?
You were breaking out, sir.
Yeah. We need a better room to do this in, but we don't have that. All right, best I can. I just let you know that you're giving up your right to have a hearing. You have the right to have witnesses testify on your behalf. You can question those witnesses. You can remain silent and require the state prove that you violated your probation. You understand you're giving up those rights. And I will accept your admission that you violated your probation. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to 20 days in the Collier County Jail. You'll be credited with time served. There'll be a 6-month driver's license revocation. Court will have no objection to you obtaining a hardship once you qualify. And your probation will be revoked.
I stood up until you said that it's 6-month revocation driver's license.
Yes, sir. That's That's a requirement by statute based on the adjudication for the charges.
I think you said he didn't hear the part after about.
Oh, I'm saying I don't have I'm saying that you have a right to get a hardship license once you qualify.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All righty, thank you.
May I just address it briefly one more
Sure.
time? Mr. Romero Rojas, so you should be out on the morning of the 10th day, which would be a Monday, a week from Monday. I'll let your family know. As far as applying for that hardship license, when you get out, give us a call. We'll sit down and help you through that process, okay? All right, Happy New Year. Thank you for indulging me, Judge.
No problem. Thank you.
Have a good one, everybody.
Okay, looks good. And we have Parker Strickland. Sure.
Hi, Mr. Strickland.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I got another offer on that new case that we talked about. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay. So for that other case, it's an adjudication, $200 fine and costs on the no valid driver's license, and then adjudication, $100 fine and costs on the tag, attached tag not found. So in total,
Okay.
with your other one, it would be a $450 fine plus cost.
Awesome.
Okay, you want
And
to
is
do
that
that?
gonna be out today?
Yeah, I mean, either way, you'd be, yeah, if you take all those, you'd be able to get out today.
Yeah, I'll take it all. I'll just pay the fine and you guys let me go.
Okay, and then,
Ashley,
you usually get, at least 90, 60 or 90 days, but if you need more time than that, you can just set up a payment plan with the clerk, okay? Because
Okay,
if
thank
you
you
don't
so much.
pay it, your license will be suspended, or your ability to get a license will be suspended.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
no problem. Can we add him his other case? I have the case number.
And we're adding it right now?
Yeah, at this moment, I'm sorry.
What's the case number?
That's what it looks like.
It's 20 CT 2578.
All right, Miss, I'll go over the, what do we got here on,
Okay.
because I'm,
Ashley Hall on behalf of Mr. Strickland. This is going to be, he's going to be withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty in 20 CT 948. And he's going to be entering a plea of no contest, the terms of which are an adjudication of guilt, $150 fine, court costs, cost of prosecution, and public defender fees. And then in 20 CT 2578, it's another no contest plea, the terms of which are for the count one, no valid driver's license, and adjudication of guilt, $200 fine and costs, and then for the attached tag not assigned and adjudication of guilt, $100 fine and costs. But I don't believe that I'm appointed on that case currently, so I don't think these are included in that. Brandon.
so it'll just be the cost of prosecution. All right, Mr. Strickland, if you'll raise your right hand and be sworn, sir. Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Will you state your name? You can put your hand down.
My name is Parker Strickland.
And Mr. Strickland, your counsel has indicated you wish to plead no contest. In case number 20 CT 948, not having a valid driver's license. And in case number 20 CT 2578, not having a valid driver's license and attaching a tag not assigned.
Yes, sir.
Were you able to hear the terms of the plea on each one of these cases?
Yes, sir.
Has anybody promised or told you anything different than that?
No, sir.
You understand you're giving up your right to have a trial in this matter.
Yes, sir.
In addition, at that trial, you would be able to have witnesses testify on your behalf. You could,
I'm guilty, Your Honor.
okay. I just understand you know your rights. You're giving up. You're giving up your right to have witnesses testify on your behalf, your right to question witnesses, as well as your right to remain silent and require the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You understand if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
Yes, sir.
And I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis for the plea. In 20 CT 948, there'll be an adjudication of guilt, a $100 fine, court costs to include the cost prosecution, public defender fee. We'll give you 60 days to pay the fine and court costs, okay?
Yes, sir.
That was the fine, 100 or 150?
I wrote down 150.
$100 on the tax.
I have to do these separately.
I can do it.
No, I'm just,
Oh.
because to approve them, sometimes they want me to do one and then do the next case. Oh, see. And in case number 20 CF 2578, as to the no valid driver's license, will be an adjudication of guilt, a $200 fine plus court costs to include the cost of prosecution, attaching a tag not assigned, an adjudication of guilt, a $100 fine plus court costs. I'll give you 90 days to pay on that charge, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Don't forget the payment plan.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, see ya. I believe we're going to Jason too.
And then another one, count one, count two. Looks good.
You ready?
Whenever you are.
Full house.
Weren't we just there?
No, this is NJC two, which is what they have on my thing.
No, I got them back to NJC one.
Oh, what's the?
Maybe that's what they changed.
That explains it.
Ta-da.
Never trickles to me.
Okay. All right, Michael Clark. Ms. Hall's present.
Ashley Hall on behalf of Michael Clark. Mr. Clark is going to withdraw his previously entered plea of not guilty and entering a plea of no contest, terms of which are adjudication of guilt, $500 fine, 12 months probation, 6 months driver's license suspension, DUI school, substance abuse evaluation, follow recommendations, random testing, no alcohol provisions, 10-day vehicle impound, victim impact panel, 50 hours community service, and costs. And we would ask, Your Honor, that he have the ability to report to probation on Monday, by Monday. Yes.
Don't know if any, were any sworn under there, over there?
This group has not been.
Okay. If you all would just raise your right hand and be sworn for me, please. You swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. All right. All right, Mr. Clark, if you'll state your name, please. And Mr. Clark, your counsel has indicated that you wish to plead no contest to driving under the influence. The maximum sentence that you could receive in this case would be 6 months in the county jail. Ms. Hall's indicated the terms of the plea. Were you able to hear those, sir?
Yes, sir.
And is that your understanding of the plea?
Yes, sir.
You understand you're giving up certain rights by entering your plea here this afternoon. They would include your right to have a trial, your right to have witnesses testify on your behalf, your right to remain silent and require the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand you'll be giving up those rights, sir?
Yes, sir.
If you're not a United States citizen, you understand that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
Yes, sir.
If you were to be convicted of driving under the influence in the future, this plea today could be used against you. In that case, it could result in a harsher sentence in that case. You understand that? It also could be used against you and result in your license being revoked for a period of up to 5 years. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, there is a factual basis in the court file for your plea, and I'll accept your plea. As to the DUI charge, the court will adjudicate you guilty, impose a $500 fine plus court costs to include the cost of prosecution as well as the public defender fee. Your license will be revoked for a period of 6 months. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 12 months. You'll be required to attend and complete the DUI school, have a substance evaluation, follow any recommendation. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol while you're on probation. You'll be subject to random testing. You also have to attend and complete a victim impact panel, perform 50 hours of community service. Your vehicle will be immobilized for a period of 10 days. You'll have to report to the probation department no later than 5 p.m. on Monday, January 4th, 2021, okay? All right, thank you. You will need to be fingerprinted there by the jail deputy. Thank you. Skip him. Raul Quiones? Oh, I'm sorry. Yep. No, it's on it. Oh. Okay, oh yeah, I see. All right. So we're good, I think. All right, Mr. Keown is in charge of, this is a violation of probation, 3 cases, 20 MM 2121, 20 MM 534, and 20 MM 1498.
After all, on behalf of Mr. Quinones, there's going to be admissions, Your Honor. In 19 MM 2121, the terms are revoked and probation resentenced to 70 days jail with credit for all time served. In 20 MM 534, it's going to be substance abuse evaluation, sign up within 10 days of release, follow recommendations, and a minimum of 1 drug screen per week for the next 3 months of probation.
Is that that's a modification on those 2, right? So wait, all right, so we can do that. You don't have to write that down.
Judge, I provided an order yesterday. I don't know if you got it.
Yeah, I have it. That's what.
Okay.
But the first one is not a modification.
All right, the first one's done.
Okay. All right.
It's the same for 20 MM 1498 to current.
Right. All right. Will you state your name, please? And Mr. Koenig, your counsel has indicated that in case number 19 MM 2121, you wish to admit the violation of probation with the understanding that your probation will be revoked. You'll be sentenced to 70 days in the Collier County Jail with credit for time served. Is that your understanding? All right. You understand you're giving up your right to have a hearing in this matter where the state, that the state would have to prove that you violated your probation beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond a preponderance of the, by a preponderance of the evidence, you're giving up your right to question any witnesses as well as your right to present witnesses testifying in your behalf. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. And based upon your admission, then the court will accept your admission that you violated your probation in 19 MM 2121. I'll adjudicate you guilty, revoke your probation, and sentence you to 70 days in the Collier County Jail with credit for time served. And you understand, or are you agreeing that in case number 20 MM 534 and 20 MM 1498, that there is a basis for the court to violate your probation? Then I will accept that admission, sir, and modify your probation in both cases, that you'll have a substance evaluation within 10 days of your release from, you'll sign up for a substance evaluation within 10 days from your release from jail. You would be required to have one minimum of one drug screen a week for the next 3 months of probation. All other terms of conditions of your probation that were previously ordered will remain as previously ordered. Do you understand that? You will need to see the probation department with, is the 70 days you're going to expire that? Okay, so you'll need to see the probation department no later than 5 p.m. January 4th, okay? All right, thank you. Oh. Let's go back to the first one. 19 MM. As soon as I find them. Conditions 5 and 7. Today is modification order on the other two. All right, Mr. County, you're free to go, sir. Jail, he only need to be fingerprinted on the 2019 case, not the other two.
Whenever the jail is able to release you.
As soon as they get the paperwork here from the clerk, they'll start working on that, okay? Oh, it's on, which one now? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Let's see, we have Arialos Severa. Severda? Oh. All right, who do you have over there now? Anyone? All right, we can do Mr. Jose Carranza Garcia. Yeah, this was Mr. Garcia. You were on a docket this morning. Do you have an attorney, sir? I'm sorry?
He needs the interpreter.
Oh, well, she's standing right there. Can you ask if he has an attorney?
Señor García, ¿usted tiene abogado?
No.
No.
Are you presently working or receiving any income?
¿Usted actualmente está en este momento está trabajando o recibe algún ingreso?
No.
No.
All right, then his application indicated he was making $500 per week.
En su solicitud indicaba que estaba ganando $500 por semana,
Based upon his change in circumstances,
pero basándose en el cambio de circunstancias,
the court is going to appoint a public defender to represent Mr.
se le
Lorenzo
asignará
Garcia.
abogado de oficio para que lo represente.
And for now, we'll just set him on the February 4th pretrial conference docket.
Y lo fijamos para el 4 de febrero para la conferencia previa juicio.
Thank you.
Gracias.
How about Sergio Lopez? Is he there? All right. We'll get back with you then. We're going to Immokalee.
All right, we'll be right back, neighbors.
Mr. Clark, you're here for what? Oh, I forgot, 3 o'clock.
Hello, Immokalee, the judge is on the bench.
Sergio Lopez.
Sergio López.
Mr. Lopez, good afternoon. Do you have an attorney, sir?
Señor López, buenas tardes. ¿Usted tiene abogado?
No.
No.
You have previously requested an attorney.
Usted previamente había solicitado un abogado.
Are you presently employed at this time?
¿Usted en este momento tiene trabajo?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And how much money are you making each week now?
¿Y cuánto es lo que está ganando en este momento por semana?
350.
350.
All right. And how are you making? Have you not been in custody since November?
¿Usted no está encarcelado desde noviembre?
No.
No.
No. When did you get into jail?
¿Cuándo fue arrestado?
El 20 de noviembre.
Oh, yes, November 20, sorry.
All right. Well, have you worked and gotten any income since the time of your arrest?
Desde el momento que fue arrestado, ¿usted ha trabajado o ha recibido algún ingreso?
No he trabajado.
I have not worked.
All right. Based on that change in circumstance in the courts, and they're going to do a indigency review and appoint a public defender.
Basándose en ese cambio de circunstancias, el juez determina que lo considera indigente, le asigna al abogado de oficio.
I'm going to set your case for February 4th,
Voy a fijar su caso para el 4 de febrero.
and you'll be contacted by the public defender's office to see if we can resolve your case as soon as possible.
El abogado de oficio lo contactará para ver si podemos resolver su caso lo más pronto posible.
Thank you.
Gracias. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Sí, señor.
Una pregunta, aquella vez me ofrecieron probatorio y que ahora el probatorio.
So the last time I was offered probation, so what happened to the probation?
Well, he can do probation. I'm not sure. Are you being held here on an immigration detainer also?
O sea, usted sí puede ser probatorio, pero no estoy seguro. ¿Usted también tiene una detención por inmigraciones? ¿Perdón?
¿Está bien?
All right.
Let me just look at Roxanne. Actually, he's not. Doesn't show that he is. All right, well. Is there he's been in custody. I'm assuming this would be just a straight plea. Is that correct, Mr. Stewart?
Which piece is this again?
I'm
Judge?
looking at 20 CT 2276.
Let me see. Yes, probation, the standard terms, if we want to go on with the specifics, I can go into it, but yeah, no more jail time.
O sea, sí, básicamente podría ser probatoria y ya no tuviera que tener más tiempo en la cárcel.
Okay.
Okay?
Well, then if you wish to take the probationary fee, just let you understand that you would be, your license or your right to obtain a license would be revoked for a period of 12 months.
Usted deberá entender si usted acepta esta oferta de probatoria, su licencia será revocada. How many months did you say you were?
12.
Por 12 meses.
And you will be placed on probation for 12 months.
Y será en probatoria durante 12 meses.
You would have to do the DUI school.
Tendrá que completar el curso de DUI.
You would be required to have a substance abuse evaluation.
Tendrá que tener una evaluación del abuso de sustancias.
You would have to follow any recommendations.
Deberá seguir todas las recomendaciones.
There would be a $1,000 fine.
$1,000 de multa.
Plus court costs.
Más cosas judiciales.
You would not be able to drink any alcohol or any illegal drugs.
Usted no podrá beber alcohol ni usar drogas ilegales.
You would be subject to random testing.
Le harán análisis al azar.
You would have to complete a victim impact panel.
Deberá completar un panel de impacto para víctimas.
50 hours of community service.
50 horas de servicio comunitario.
Your vehicle will be mobilized for 10 days.
Su vehículo será inmovilizado durante 10 días.
You would have to have a ignition interlock for a period of 6 months.
Durante 6 meses tendrá el artefacto en el arranque del carro.
Would you like to accept that, sir?
¿Usted desea aceptar esto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
And the driver's license, there would be an adjudication.
Por la licencia de conducir se aceptará el fallo de culpabilidad.
You understand that? You'll be sentenced to time served on that count.
Usted entiende esto y le darán tiempo servido por ese cargo.
You willing to accept that?
¿Quiere aceptar eso?
Sí, acepto.
Yes, I accept it.
In your hand, you're holding a paper. Have you had a chance to go over that piece of paper or have it read to you or have you read it?
En sus manos usted tiene un papel, usted tuvo la oportunidad de leer ese documento o que alguien se lo leyera y lo pudo revisar.
Sí, lo leí.
Yes, I read it.
You understand that it contains the rights you're giving up by entering your plea here this afternoon.
Usted entiende que contiene los derechos a los cuales está renunciando al aceptar la oferta aquí hoy día.
Sí, lo leí todo.
Yes, I read everything.
Okay, and you understand that if you're not a United States citizen, this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
Y usted entiende que si usted no es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos, esa declaración podría ser usada en contra suya en audiencias de deportación.
Sí.
Yes.
If you were to be convicted of driving under the influence in the future,
Si usted es condenado en el futuro de conducir bajo los efectos,
you could be treated more harshly. Do you understand
se
that?
lo podría tratar más severamente. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
And your license could be revoked for 5 years. Do you understand that?
Y se podría revocar su licencia por 5 años. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
And I'm going to accept your plea.
Voy a aceptar su declaración.
I will adjudicate you guilty.
Se aceptará el fallo de culpabilidad.
On the driving under the influence, there'll be a $1,000 fine,
De conducir bajo los efectos tendrá una multa de $1,000,
plus the court costs.
más cosas judiciales.
Your license will be revoked for 12 months.
Su licencia será revocada por 12 meses.
You'll be placed on probation for 12 months.
Tendrá probatoria por 12 meses.
You'll have to attend and complete a DUI school,
Deberá completar y asistir al colegio de DUI
have a substance use evaluation,
para tener una evaluación de abuso de sustancias,
follow any recommendation.
seguir todas las recomendaciones.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol while you're on probation.
Mientras esté en probatoria no podrá poseer o consumir alcohol.
You'll be subject to random testing.
Se le harán análisis al azar.
You'll have to attend and complete a victim impact panel,
Deberá completar y asistir a un panel de impacto para víctimas,
perform 50 hours of community service.
realizar 50 horas de servicio comunitario,
Your vehicle will be immobilized for 10 days.
10 días se inmovilizará su vehículo
You'll also be required to have an ignition interlock for a period of 6 months.
y durante 6 meses tendrá el artefacto en el arranque del carro.
On count 2, there'll be an adjudication of guilt.
Para el cargo 2 se asienta el fallo de culpabilidad
You'll be sentenced to time served,
y le pondrán tiempo servido,
deposit court costs.
costas judiciales compuestas.
You'll need to be fingerprinted by the jail deputy,
Le tomarán las huellas digitales por el guardia de la cárcel
and you'll need to see the probation department by 5 o'clock on Monday, January 4th, okay?
y deberá ir a la probatoria, o sea, tiene hasta el lunes a las 5 de la tarde para ir ahí. ¿Entiende?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
No. Okay, we'll just waive the fee. Take it up. This is it Aurelio Silvera? Or is it who I need?
Saavedra Ariano.
I'm sorry, say it again?
Saavedra Ariano.
Oh. Yeah, that's you. Okay. Oh, okay, I got it backwards. Hang on just a second.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, here we have the app fee on there. Okay, looks good. I lost your name. What did I do with it? All right, we have John Silvera Arellano,
Yes, sir.
20 CT 1320.
Actually, on behalf of Mr. Saavedra Ariano, he's going to be withdrawing his previously entered plea of not guilty and entering a plea of no contest, the terms of which are an adjudication of guilt, $150 fine, court costs, cost of prosecution, and PD fees. And we would ask that you have 90 days.
All right, if you'll raise your right hand and be sworn, sir. Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Would you state your name, please?
John Saavedra Ariano.
All right, and sir, your counsel's indicated you wish to plead no contest to the charge of driving with a suspended license. Agreement being that adjudication, a $150 fine, court costs, cost of prosecution. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
And have you had an opportunity to go and read over a plea of guilty or no contest form?
Yes, sir.
You understand that that form contains the rights that you're giving up by entering your plea?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
You understand if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
Yes, sir.
If you were to be convicted of driving with a suspended license in the future, This plea could be used against you and result in a harsher sentence in that case. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
It also could be used against you. It could result in your license being revoked for a period of up to 5 years. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
There is a factual basis in the court file for your plea, and I'll accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. Court costs will be imposed to include the cost of prosecution and public defender fees, and you'll have 90 days to pay those fees and costs. Make sure you do it within that time frame so your license does not become suspended. If you need some additional time, you can always request a payment plan from the clerk of court, okay?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
All right, Immokalee, that's everybody.
No, I have 3 more here.
All righty. All right, who do you have?
I have Oscar Zelaya, Joseph Andres, and Jose Martinez. Look for your 3 o'clock.
Yeah, I got him. I see him now.
Judge, is that it for 215?
That's it for 215. I think we're on the 3 o'clock docket now.
May I ask you call Miss Matarino for the jail arraignment docket?
Sure. I didn't bring my number for her. I thought
She's 252-8942.
8942. All right.
Thank you, Judge. Happy New Year.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You guys need some time to talk to everybody?
Yes.
All right. We'll just stay here at the jail. You can do those 3, and then I'll give Miss Matarino a call when you're ready.
Okay, so you said you don't have James Rodriguez, but you do have Oscar Zelaya.
Yes, I have Oscar Zelaya, and James Rodriguez is the neighbors.
Okay. Okay, can I talk to Oscar, please?
Oscar?
I need you interpreter, please. Hi, Mr. Zelaya. My name is Ashley, and I'm with the Public Defender's Office.
¿Cómo está, señor Zelaya? Mi nombre es Ashley y soy abogada de la Oficina de los Abogados de Oficio.
I have an offer for you today. It's an adjudication and time served.
Tengo oferta para usted, que se asienta el fallo y tiempo servido.
You know if you have an ICE hold, an immigration hold?
¿Usted sabe si tiene una orden de detención de migraciones?
Okay. Okay, so this would be getting you out, but you would be immediately going into immigration custody.
O sea, con eso usted saldría, pero lo llevarán inmediatamente a detención de inmigraciones.
So you really have 2 options. You can take the plea, or you can plead not guilty and speak to your attorney about how to proceed.
O sea, usted tiene 2 opciones. O sea, usted puede presentar una declaración de culpable y aceptar la oferta, o perdón, de no disputo y aceptar la oferta, o si no, usted puede hablar con su abogado para ver cómo proceder. I'm going to plead guilty.
Okay, I recommend pleading no contest.
O sea, le recomiendo que presente una declaración de no disputo cuando le pregunte.
Okay. All right, that's it for me. The other one I have is in Naples. Thank you. What are you laughing at?
That's not pretty good.
Oh. Oh.
Thank you, Robert.
Huh?
Thank you for Robert.
I know. Literally everybody in my office is gone.
They just released all the bells. We're going to that.
On the judge, he's done. I got roped into this and we got something on the 23rd. And I don't even have an offer for him. No offer.
New Year's Eve was really for me anyway. I was in the city. I had 21 years. I was there at 18 Times Square.
Really?
18.
Wow.
New Year's Eve. The first year, I was like, wow, this is great. And every year, it got worse and worse and worse. And I left here, I was just so disgruntled. So disgruntled.
I've always wanted to go. I want to go when I'm younger than when I'm older.
You don't want that.
So,
No.
it looks
You're
fun.
stuck in the pen. Once you penned in, you're stuck there, you can't get out.
Last year.
Everybody's done?
Yeah. I only had one guy.
Last year, I was all stuck in the-
I think that may be only one for the year.
Before we went.
All right, please be seated. Let's see. I guess we can call, we had Jose Martinez. Mr. Martinez, your counsel, Mr. Calderon, has filed a written plea of not guilty. We're going to set your case for February 3rd at 9 a.m. No, I'm gonna go 9. I'm trying to keep away from my 10 until we get done,
Oh, okay.
until we get back to normal,
Okay.
whenever that may be. All right, thank you, sir. Joseph Ordris.
Yes,
All right. Hang on a second. I'm getting it right. Mr. Ordis, do you have an attorney, sir?
I asked for the public defender, but rejected.
All right. Would you like me to review that application?
I already did, but like a week ago, and they didn't have it yet.
They denied it a second time?
No, they didn't have it. They didn't have it. Like I don't know if that's.
Oh.
Officer didn't put it
Well,
on the computer.
I'm looking at an application that you made back on December 8th. And it said the only thing that you were making $700 a week. Is that still true?
No, it's not true anymore.
Okay, and you don't have any money in the bank or anything other than that, so you were living off of that $700, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, shoot. All right, hang on a second. I gotta make a phone call. I forgot.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon. I missed one on you, but that's all right. Jose Martinez, there was Mr. Calderon has a written plea of not guilty. I set him on the February 3rd docket. And we're doing Joseph Andres.
Yes.
And Mr. Andres has indicated that his circumstances has changed since his application with the public defender. So would you like the public defender to represent you then if you qualify now, sir?
That'll be nice.
All right, then I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you this time. And we'll set this on Judge Brown's pretrial conference date. January 28th at 9, the public defender's office, someone will get in touch with you. If there's a possibility of getting your case resolved prior to that, then they'll work that and see if they can do so, okay?
Okay.
All right, then. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
And then you had Oscar Zelaya. All right, no valid DO.
He wishes to take the offer today in terms of which are an adjudication of guilt, time served, or constitution.
Aquejado a nombre del señor Zelaya, él desea aceptar la oferta hoy día, que se asienta el fallo, tiempo servido, cosas judiciales, costo de procesamiento y honorario del abogado.
Is that correct, sir?
¿Es correcto, señor?
Sí.
Yes.
All right, if you'll raise your hand and be sworn.
Levante Levante la mano derecha para ponerlo bajo juramento.
Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Juro, promete que el testimonio que dará será la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Yes.
Okay, you may put your hand down.
Bien, puede bajar la mano.
Will you state your name, please?
Diga su nombre completo, por favor.
All right.
¿Cómo dijo Juan Wilfredo Zelaya? Oscar Wilfredo Zelaya.
All right, Mr. Zelaya, you're vindicated you wish to plead no contest to the charge of not having a valid driver's license. Have you had an opportunity, sir, to review a plea of guilty or no contest form?
Señor, usted indica que quiere presentar una declaración de no disputo a no tener una licencia válida. ¿Usted ha tenido la oportunidad de leer el formulario declaratorio?
Sí.
Yes.
And you understand that that form contains the rights that you're giving up by entering your plea here this afternoon.
¿Y usted entiende que ese formulario contiene los derechos a los cuales va a renunciar al aceptar la oferta hoy día?
Sí.
Yes.
You understand if you are not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding.
¿Usted entiende que si no es ciudadano de los Estados Unidos, esta declaración podría ser usada en contra suya en procedimientos de deportación?
Sí.
Yes.
Then I will accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file.
Existen fundamentos en el
There'll be an adjudication of guilt.
Se sienta el fallo de
You'll be
culpabilidad,
sentenced to time served.
le impongo tiempo
Court
servido,
costs will be
se
imposed.
le impondrán costas judiciales,
You'll have 60 days to
tiene
pay those court
60
costs.
días para pagar estos costos.
Thank you.
Gracias.
I think that was everybody. Everybody for you, right, IJC?
Excuse me?
Everybody for you, right? We're all done?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank
All right.
you.
See you later. Oops, wrong one. All right. 25%.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
All right, you too. Thank you. Where could they be? They're hiding. Oh, that was good, but
Maple Shell, you have everybody back in NJC one, correct? That's a different, not an answer.
please don't tell me you're in 31B.
The show's been canceled, Judge.
Yeah, apparently we've lost them.
Courtroom 3-4 holding.
They all left.
Electricity for the year.
10-4 Sarge, we've got the rest of the people in NJC 1, correct?
Yeah, I didn't get a list on that.
This would be the 3 o'clock docket.
There was a case this morning, it looks like I missed a call from.
Yeah, we
went over it from the day before, I think, I just wanted to make sure.
we did. We got you there. Put them all together.
That was the same case that we were talking about.
Yeah, Miss Williams.
I apologize for missing it.
No problem. I didn't even make an attempt to call you. I just,
I thought I had a missed call.
oh yeah, actually I did. I dialed the wrong number.
I missed it. Is it the ringer on?
No, but that's fine.
Yeah, we have the remainder of the 3 o'clock docket. Do you know what room they're gonna be in? Okay, I'm gonna try and call over. I've been calling, but I just wouldn't get picked up.
Still cleaning. Jumped all over.
We're back. The judge is on the bench.
Let's see, I've got Takia Richardson.
Afternoon, Judge.
Afternoon.
Ian Clark with Regional Counsel on behalf of Ms. Richardson. Ms. Richardson, I had the opportunity to speak with the state. It looks as though you have a violation of probation on a felony case. So they don't have an offer on this particular case at this point. So we're gonna have to have this put to a pretrial conference docket.
And that'll be with,
Well, I'm not understanding because my co-defendant charges were dropped and I'm still being charged. I'm not. What's going on?
Well, we can try to sort it out. The issue is that the state has no offer right now, so there's nothing we can do today at the arraignment. So we'll have to work on that in between the pretrial conference and now. Okay?
Okay, but has anybody been in contact with the victim?
Not exactly sure. We could ask the state. State?
Sorry, what was that?
Ms. Richardson was wondering if anyone has been in contact with the victim. They must have been.
Sorry, we have left a voicemail for the victim. We're just waiting to hear back.
Okay, all right, well, they have filed an information, Ms. Richardson, so at this point in time, the best that we can do is just set it as soon as we can on a pretrial conference date, which would be in January 27th. All right,
Thank you very much, Judge.
thank you, Ms. Richardson.
Happy New Year, Judge.
Okay, you too. Let's see. James Rodriguez. Oh, that's right.
Hi, Mr. Rodriguez. I'm here covering for Mr. Wilson today.
Yeah.
I do have an offer for you. It's to the no valid driver's license. Oh, before I do this, I just want you to know that we are on the record and the judge is in here, so I might not want to talk about anything else. Okay, so count 1 is adjudication, time served, and costs, and it'll be a null cross for count 2, which was the attached tag. And if you do not accept it today, it'll be amended to driving on suspended. So a no valid driver's license is a better charge than the driving on suspended.
And I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can I put my case, can I settle all my cases together today?
What's your other case?
I got a criminal mischief that's been going on since June of last year, where I got no rights there, 10 years, claiming my innocence. I have no criminal intent, prejudice in my box. I've been trying to get my lawyer since then. He has not. No about it. I have not talked to him, seen him, or heard from him since I was appointed regional counsel. So I'm trying to answer all cases today, please.
Okay. I don't think we can do the criminal mischief today. I don't know what that paper is that you were talking about. The
I got notarized, like you guys can have it. I've been holding it since every time I go to court. I just been postponed.
Okay. I would recommend maybe sending that over. I'm sorry, what?
How would I do that?
I think there's a way for you to send mail to us.
I don't know who to send it to. I don't even know who my lawyers are.
Okay.
Mr. Rodriguez. Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Clark's here. Actually, they've filed a notice that there's been a conflict. So that's pending at this point in time. And you're going to have to get appointed a new, it looks like they filed it today.
That's correct.
And it looks like I'm going to have to appoint you a private counsel to represent you. And as soon as that happens, we can do it. So,
On permission,
yes, sir.
Because there's a new
I'll
arrest.
take a fee for the pay and settle that one later.
There's a new arrest, Judge, so we forwarded that over to your office today, obviously, so that number's there.
Yeah. And
Okay, sweet. I'm sorry, what did you say? You said you wanted to take the
I'll
one today?
take that fee, time served for new charges, and I'll handle criminal mischief, and probably will be that, bond, reappointed, or I can take bond back out on it.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Was your bond revoked in your other case, in the criminal mischief case?
The new cases, they revoked the old bond, but I had bond on these charges, so I couldn't get out, my criminal mischief was revoked.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna, I mean, you're still gonna have to get your bond reinstated on the criminal mischief.
I know,
Okay,
okay, I'll take days for time served for these new ones, and
okay,
I guess I'm gonna go whenever they do for criminal mischief.
okay, okay.
all right, Mr. Rodriguez, if you'll raise your right hand and be sworn for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the evidence you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
And will you state your name for the record, please?
James Sergio Rodriguez.
And Mr. Rodriguez, you've indicated that you wish to plead no contest to the charge of not having a valid driver's license. The agreed upon sentence was an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served. Court costs will be imposed. Is that your understanding?
Yes, sir.
And you understand that by entering this plea, there are certain rights you would be giving up, to include your right to a trial, your right to have witnesses testify on your behalf, your right to question any witness called to testify against you, your right to remain silent, as well as your right to require the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand you're giving up those rights, sir?
Sir.
If you are not a United States citizen, you understand that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding. And I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file. As to count one, there'll be no valid DL. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served. Court costs will be imposed. I'll give you 60 days to pay that court cost.
Your Honor, that also included cost of prosecution?
Yes, ma'am, with cost of prosecution. And PD, public defender fee, as well as the cost of application. And with that, the state is going to announce the no process on count 2.
Honor, the state announces a no process to count 2 attached tag not assigned.
All right, thank you, Mr. Richardson. Rodriguez. What's that?
My case is with the commission. So, my case is with you.
Right, I see that now, yes, sir.
I like no certainty out. It's been 8, 9 months, I'm sorry, just coming back. It's a misdemeanor. Is there any office taken off me now, time served, and I take it?
I don't know. I looked it up and lost it. Hold on a second.
I'm just trying to get everything out of the way, just get out of your way, get out of the way, sir.
Don't blame you.
I'll take you guilty on it and just time service and stay with reason.
It is in, Ms. Batterino, it's 20MM822. I don't know if you can look at, see if there's been any kind of a offer to extend or not.
Yes, Your Honor, the offer is an adjudication of 6 months of probation, no early termination, 50 hours of community service, order and reserve restitution to Granada Lake, the amount of $321, no trespass at Granada Lake, 145 Santa Clara Drive, and that would be for the entire complex, for cost prosecution.
Did you hear the offer, Mr. Rodriguez? All right, it's, my understanding is was going to be an adjudication of guilt, 6 months of probation, no early termination of that probation, You would also have to do 50 hours of community service. Restitution would be ordered payable to the Granada Lakes in the amount of $321, and you're not to go back to the Granada Lakes. Let's see this. All right, and basically you understand that the rights that I've just went over with you earlier are the same ones that would apply in this particular case. You're also giving up your right to a trial in this matter, is that right? You understand it. I know you had both the public defender and the regional counsel. You're entitled to have an attorney represent you throughout these proceedings, and if you could not afford to hire one, I would appoint one. You understand that at this point in time, you're proceeding without the services of an attorney?
Yes, sir.
And then I'm going to accept your plea. There is a factual basis on case number 20MM822 to the charge of criminal mischief. Hang on a second. One more thing I got to tell you. The maximum sentence in this case is 1 year in the county jail. And if you do not complete your probation for 6 months successfully, that you could be sentenced to 1 year in the county jail without any regard to any agreement we have here today. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I'll accept your plea. There'll be an adjudication.
Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
Apologize. Can we also let the defendant know that criminal mischief is an enhanceable crime, so he'll be facing harsher penalties should he be convicted of this in the future?
Correct. If you were to be convicted of a criminal mischief in the future, this plea here today could be used against you. In that case, could result in a harsher sentence. Do you understand that? All right, then I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be placed on probation for a period of 6 months. There'll be no early termination of that probation. You'll be required to complete 50 hours of community service. Restitution will be ordered in the amount of $321 payable to the Granada Lakes Village Complex. You're also not to go back to that complex at, was it 145? What was the address, madam? Ms. Monterino?
That's 145 Santa Clara Drive.
Santa Clara Drive. That was everything. And there'll be court costs imposed to include both the cost of prosecution as well as the public defender fee, the application, and the, I'm not sure if the regional counsel has a fee that's involved in that. No. Okay. All right. You will need to see the probation department, Mr. Rodriguez, no later than 5 p.m. on January 4th, which is next Monday. I don't think this is the only things that were keeping you here. Is that right?
Sir.
All right. So you should be released. So no later than 5 p.m. You'll need to show up at the probation department here in the courthouse. Okay. All righty. Thank you. Excuse me. All right. You have another one? Oh. Okay. So.
Did you say you imposed a the $50 PD fee? Or no?
Yeah, because they, yeah, they were representing them for a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, I think that's it. Sean Kalaki? Has there been an offer for Mr. Kalaki to resolve his, Mr. Kalaki, would you like to hear an offer to resolve your case this afternoon? All right.
Under the offers and adjudication, time served, court cost prosecution.
Adjudication, time served, court costs to include the cost of prosecution. You all want to accept that?
Yes.
All right, and it's been so long, I can't remember if we had everybody rate. You guys, I swear you went already, everybody? No.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, Mr. Clackey, if you would state your name, please.
Sean Collette.
And Mr. Clackey, you're not from the Chicago area, are you?
And,
Okay, all right.
Massachusetts.
Massachusetts. You've indicated that you wish to plead no contest to the charge of trespass. Again, the agreed sentence was an adjudication, time served, court costs to include the cost of prosecution. Is that your understanding?
That's right.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you. If you could not afford to hire one, I would appoint one to represent you. Do you understand that?
I understand.
You wish to go ahead and proceed without the services of an attorney at this time?
That's right.
You understand you're also giving up your right to have a trial, your right to have witnesses testify on your behalf, your right to question any witness called to testify against you, your right to remain silent and to require the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You understand you're giving up those rights, sir?
Yes.
You understand if you're not a United States citizen, that this plea could be used against you in a deportation proceeding. I'll accept your plea. There is a factual basis in the court file. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served. Court costs will be imposed to include the cost of prosecution. I'll give you 60 days to pay those costs, okay?
Okay.
All righty, thank you. Daniel Lemon. I don't see that you haven't filed on this yet.
Your Honor, the information was filed this afternoon, so it's probably not in the court file.
Okay.
So based on that, we've requested.
Well, do you have an offer? There is an information. If it's filed, that's fine.
Okay. Yes, Your Honor, we do have an offer. It's an adjudication, 90 days in jail, no trespass at all targets in Collier County, court cost prosecution.
Mr. Lemon, would you like to accept that offer?
90 days.
All right, I guess that's a no. Okay, we're gonna roll your case, we'll set this, let me ask you this, have you made an application for an attorney? All right, you're certainly free to do so if you want. You can fill out an application for the Public Defender Services, or you can hire any attorney you wish. We'll enter a plea of not guilty for you this morning and set this for Judge Nicola's pretrial conference of February 11th.
No.
Huh?
Yeah, all right, that's fine.
Well, February 11th isn't going to be more than 90 days. Oh, okay, you're leaving. All right. What you want. Francois Page. Mr. Page, do you have an attorney, sir?
Yes, I do.
Who is that?
Public defender, his name is Didi.
Do you have any other charges pending besides this case?
Well, there's two charges. I think this one here, we're talking about.
This is the
August?
driving under the influence charge.
On August, and I got another one 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
All right, hold on just a second. Let me run your name here real quick.
Yep.
Uh, 20 CT, what's this one? Okay, this is it, 1351. All right, yep, you do have an public defender.
Yep.
Let me look at your application. Indigent. Okay, so you previously qualified. I know you need to do out another app, but I'm going to go ahead and appoint the public defender. In this case, and it looks like trying to see when your next court date is in that case. We'll try to get them both together so we can get them resolved. Looks like January 7th.
That's correct.
All right, so we'll set this on January 7th. Pre-trial conference with Judge Nicola. All right? That way they'll all be together.
So we assign this case, the judge is currently assigned to Judge Adams.
Yeah, because he has the lower case number. He has the 20 CT 1351. Yes. All right, thank you. Edna Pena. Pena, do you have an attorney, ma'am?
I should have an attorney to do what I don't believe, and, it was approved. And also, today I was supposed to get a visit to the monitor, but they're not working, so. But do they have an offer?
Hold on a second. Let me see here. It helps if I spell your name right. Oh, you're here on a violation of probation? No, that looks like that's been resolved. So what case do you think you have a, oh, there it is, I see it, never mind. All right, you applied back in September. Looks like the public defender was appointed at that time. Realtor bond. Back in November. All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and appoint the public defender to represent you in this case. All right, well, let's see, Ms. Matarino, is there an offer on this charge?
Your Honor, on this case, the offer to count 1 trespass is an adjudication, time served, no trespass at the handy food store. Court cost prosecution. Count 2, possession of paraphernalia is an adjudication, 60 days in jail, credit for time served. Court cost of prosecution, and that would run concurrent with her other pending.
Well, I can't run it concurrent if it hasn't been resolved yet. So Ms. Pena, what they're saying is it's an adjudication on the trespass, time served with court cost prosecution, no trespass at the handy, and on the drug paraphernalia, an adjudication, 60 days jail with credit for time served, court cost prosecution. You're only getting jail on one of them, on the second count. The other one's just time served. It's for the trespass and the possession of drug paraphernalia.
Yeah, I'll take it. 60 days?
Yeah, pretty much. All right. We went over, were you there? Were you able to hear the rights that I mentioned to other people that you'd be giving up by entering your plea here this afternoon?
Yes.
Any questions about those rights?
No.
You understand you do have a right to have an attorney represent you in this case. And if you cannot afford to hire one, I would appoint one to represent you. Then I'm going to accept your plea in 20 MM 1939 to trespass. There'll be an adjudication of guilt. You'll be sentenced to time served. Court costs will be imposed. There'll be a no trespass, and you can't go back to the handy store there in Immokalee. I'm not sure what the address is.
120 West Delaware Avenue.
120 West Delaware Avenue. In case, the possession count 2, there'll be an adjudication of guilt, 60 days jail with credit for time served, and composite court costs. Okay? All right, thank you. I believe that's everyone in jail?
One more for you.
One more.
Aroso.
Hold on a second then. Not a name I'm familiar with. Yeah, I don't, hang on just a second, sir. We're going to look and see. We'll finish up. Blackie, London, Page. Spell your last name for me.
B as in boy, O, R, R, USO. First name Vincent.
Vincent.
Your Honor, it looks like we filed a no information on the 30th yesterday.
All right. It looks like that case has been dismissed, Mr. Barunso. So,
Your Honor, can I ask you a question? Since I mean, obviously I want, well, that's not the fact that wasn't me, but I got my bond revoked because of that charge. Since it was a no file or no process, do you think that there's any way possible that you can reinstate it so I could be reunited with my family before the New Year's? Is that a possibility?
I'm looking to see. Hang on a second. It looks like your counsel's already filed that motion in front of Judge Foster. And since I'm not the one that revoked it or the one that initialed it, he's going to have the one to make that decision, okay? So hopefully they'll be able to get that in front of him fairly quick.
There's already a motion for monitoring.
Yeah, I'm reading it now. Your Mr. Dixon's filed the exact same motion as you just outlined in his motion to set bond. So that's pending apparently in front of Judge Foster, I guess now. He filed it today at 12 o'clock this afternoon, 12:30. All right, so the bad answer is no, I can't change it for you at this time. Okay. I think that's it. All righty, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a happy New Year.
You too. Thank you, ma'am. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Cost prosecution. Perfect. Great. All right.
Miss Hall, you know, I was just joking with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, you should have been joking because you quit.
Probably have borrowed with that one.
All right, you too. Thank you. That was so much fun.
You gotta go off?
I'm gonna go get my teeth pulled here in a minute.
Oh, no.
No, I'm just teasing. It's pretty much the same
Yeah,
thing.
really.